Hello, my beautiful Cancers. Honest Am here, the creator of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another monthly empowerment read where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence. And I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlemagne the God, it will not stop me. So how are you doing, my beautiful Cancers? Angel number 28. Let's get right into it. God, what messages do you have for my beautiful Cancers to become the alchemists of their lives, to do magic in public, or just to bring about change? God, what messages do you deem worthy for them to hear at this time? What potential obstacles, roadblocks, or manifestations may be in the way? Please deliver these messages to me and through me as clear as possible. Angel number 41. 2 cards, please. Guys, make sure you check out the description box below. There are always additional guidance as well as information about me at honestlysis.com. All right. All right, Cancers. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I do like this. All right, Cancer. So your month of February, your month of February is going to be all about forgiveness. The forgiveness is all about we see this, the purple chakra, which is dealing with our crown chakra, which is dealing with like learning to communicate with spirit. And I feel like what this is, for some reason, the message that I'm getting off of this right away is learning to forgive yourself, forgiving that beast within, forgiving yourself for all the times where you snapped or when you said things that you really didn't mean. And I feel like God's saying this is necessary for you to forgive yourself so that you can persevere to the next level. With this perseverance card, this is all about the sacral chakra or dealing with our emotions. And God is saying that what's blocking you is your inability to forgive yourself because you are holding on to everything that you've done. You do a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and because of that, it's not allowing you to go forward and going where you need to be. Moving into the month of March, God is asking you to release this, release the worry, release the guilt, release the shame, release the inability to forgive yourself. But don't take my word for it. We're gonna get some more messages out here. Angel number 226. All right, forgiveness. We're going to start at the top and break it on down. So forgiveness, learning to see without sight. And yep, we were right with the crown chakra. Oh, this is your third eye chakra, actually. So learning to see without sight. Forgiveness. Amethyst protects us from toxic situations. This card indicates healing and allowing yourself to return to the natural state of peace once again. Remember, we may never forgive others. We can only forgive ourselves for loving others who betrayed us. This is time for personal evolution. Let's get some more information. We never forgive others. We never forgive others, only ourselves from having judged them. In the town of Amethyst lives Rhonda the Rhino. In the town of Amethyst lives Rhonda Rhino. She doesn't take her mother's drinking problems personally, but she dreams of becoming a beloved family pet. One day, gunfire rings out. Rhino scatters and a small child is caught up in the chaos. Rhonda picks him up and runs to safety. Humans discover the pair cuddled up asleep under a tree, and they shoot Rhonda with a sleeping dart. When she awakens, she's in a garden with the little boy and his family. Rhonda's new family. Angel number 354. Rhonda's true essence lies not in harboring resentment. She transcends forgiveness because her focus is on her intention, not her pain. How deep is that? Angel number 406. So what God is saying this month, instead of holding resentment for your parents or holding resentment for your ex who left you, God is saying, transcend it, move beyond it. Think about, what did that situation teach you? Think about, instead of being like, oh my God, this nigga, he ain't shit, he fucked me up. Think about how being in that situation with him taught you how you want to be loved. It taught you something about yourself. It taught you how to have more patience and more kindness for yourself. We have to realize that if we continue to have failed relationship after failed relationship, angel number 444, it's not about that other person, it's about us. And I'm not saying that to say that you're a shitty person. I say that to say that you need to look at yourself. You need to look into yourself and ask yourself, what is my example of love? What is my example of a great life? What is my example of family? And God is saying, instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you want to have, what you want to create, the family you want to have, the partner you want to have, the family you want to create, the home that you're eventually going to buy. Angel number 412, because he said, God says, if you do that, you will end up where you need to go. This may be a time of family healing. Can I forgive myself for loving people who hurt me? I tell you guys all the time, well, this may be your first time seeing them in my video, so let me act like you knew. Angel number 539. So a couple of years ago, I participated in an inner child therapy. And during the inner child therapy, I realized that my mom was a narcissist and that my father was emotionally absent. And I knew that my brother had told me that he was picking up that my mom had this, this problem, but it was like, I don't know, because I was just so kind of stuck in my head. I was like, that's his mama, not my mama. And so I did this inner child therapy, and I realized how me having these type of parents, how that created the life that I live, which means I was a people pleaser, which means that I was with people who was not really nice to me, which means I had friendships that really didn't value me. I had a lot of relationships that was based on me earning my right with them, or me trying to, attach myself to them without them like really giving me my needs. Like I didn't put my needs above others. And it's because my childhood, and I was taught to be a people pleaser, and I was taught that my opinion and my emotions and all that stuff didn't matter. And so I was really, really angry with my parents. I wrote them a letter. Well, I didn't write my mom a letter because I felt like it was pointless, but I wrote my dad a letter. And he called me and we talked about it. He said he was going to try to change, and he didn't. And I finally got into this big blow up, and I told my mom, and I thought she was going to change. She didn't. And so for like a year or so, I just stopped talking to my parents. Like I didn't want to be bothered with them. I just felt like they just hurt me so bad. Like I just felt like, I was a child. I was innocent. Like how could you not take care of me? How could you not protect me? How could you not provide for me when I put you guys at this, I put you guys on a pedestal and you do this to me? And so I had to come to this realization. I had did shrooms, and I just started crying because I realized that at one point, I really wanted them to feel how I felt. I wanted them to feel that abandonment. I want them to feel bad and feel, like that longing of wanting to contact them or wanting to be with them, but not being able to. And then I did shrooms, and I realized like, I don't feel bad for them, and I don't want them to suffer anymore. I feel bad for them. Like, that's why I realized, like, I felt bad for them. Like, I felt like, like, damn, like, you guys were so caught up in your shit that happened in your childhood that you weren't able to be a parent to yourself. You were so caught up in all the crap that happened in your childhood that you created the exact same cycle that you went through, and you were not able to see that. And I realized that my healing, it didn't come from like my parents trying to, like, I wanted them to apologize to me. I wanted them to like, I'm sorry I did this to you and blah, blah, blah. But you have to realize your parents are only doing the best with the information that they have at that time. And I also realized that it's not fair for me, because I'm going through this process of growing, that I expect for them to give me, this healing, or for them to look at the situation from my point of view, when it's not, it wasn't. It's them, it's their life. They're going to always look at stuff from their vantage points and their point of view. And if my healing and if the way I feel about myself is contingent upon them forgiving or them giving me that I'm sorry, then I'm never going to be able to heal. And so angel number 913, I say all that to say that I just started talking to my parents again. And I'm starting to rebuild with my father again. And it's not because he gave me this big sorry. It's not any of that. But it's because I forgave myself. Like and it wasn't even like me forgiving myself. But it's like I just realized y'all was just doing the best that y'all did. I realized that they were hurt. And they're still hurt. They're still trapped in their pain and their trauma. And all I can do is continue to heal myself and continue to just be who I am, and hope that maybe that may spark for them to do some self-reflection and for them to come to terms with the things that they did in their life. But I can't expect somebody to do a reflection on my behalf when they can't do it for themselves. Do you hear me when I'm saying this? I'm telling you that you can't hold on to the pain and the hurt that you have because you are expecting an apology from this person. You'll die waiting for an apology. I actually have an article on Honestly Sis like that. If your forgiveness is not for that other person, it's for yourself. It's me forgiving myself for expecting them to be the best parent in my world. Me forgiving myself and not even forgiving myself, but me looking at my younger self with new eyes, me understanding my journey, because that was what it was. I'm like, I knew since I was a child, I wanted to be an actor. I knew I wanted to do drama. Why did I never go after that? And by me doing inner child therapy, by me going back over that life, I was able to understand why I made that decision. But for almost 6 months, I was so stuck on, how do they do this? They ruined me, this, so mad at them. Instead of just realizing, but the blessing, look at where you are now because of the fucked up childhood, because of the disappointments. You see what I'm saying? Angel number 1105. Let's move forward and get this information about perseverance. Learning to observe your emotions. Perseverance. This card refers to movement and true feelings. Focus on that which supports you. You may have a heightened emotional state, and this card can inspire or discourage. You are being offered a way of getting something back on track. So again, what God is trying to say is you are stuck, and the reason why you're stuck is your inability to forgive yourself because you're waiting for somebody else to forgive you. You're waiting for somebody else to give you that green light to move forward. And God is saying that's not going to happen. It has to come from within. You have to forgive yourself for loving people and judging people or giving people the power that they never should have had. I'm really ready to get into these cards, so let's hurry on up. Don't quit before the miracle. Shannon Carrott's colored cloak is a gift from a famous stage actress, and she wears it always as a symbol of her own talent. One day, frustrated by the sacrifices she had made in her long pursuit of success, Shannon throws off the cloaks and gives up her acting career. The great goddess tries to convince Shannon to put the cloak back on and stay on the course, but she doesn't listen. Just around the corner, had she persevered, was great success. When we do our chosen work, we are serving the highest order. If we stop, we upset the universal balance. What you work towards will materialize. You may not see it, but it lies ahead. Can I ignore the feelings that should sidetrack me? Will I let go of fear and persevere? So are you going to keep holding on to the pain in the trauma of your past? Or are you going to allow yourself to persevere and move forward to the future that is meant for you? Let's ask the cards. Angel number 1301. God, what messages do you have for my beautiful Cancer to become the alchemist of their lives? How can they forgive themselves for all of the times that they let themselves down, that they love people that didn't deserve their love? How can they release this fear so that they can persevere towards the life that was meant for them? How can you lead them up to the place to where they can let go of all the things that are no longer serving to them? God, please deliver this message as clear as possible. Oh, shit. All right. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right. Angel number 1340. Wow. 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 These cards, Cancer, 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 beautiful. All right, 1411, let's do this. So forgiveness, we have the Knight of Coins. What God is saying, if you forgive yourself, if you take this time, this month to really look at your life, look at your circumstances, look at the people that let you down, and just release it. Because that's what God wants you to go into March. Just release it. Your blessing will come. You'll be, that's what's blocking you. You're blocking yourself because you are waiting for this apology that's never going to come. That person that you're waiting for this apology, angel number 1440, has moved on. They're living their life. They're not concerned about you anymore. Listen to me when I say this. We live our own lives, and that person is not seeing things from your point of view. So what God is saying, forgive yourself. Write a letter to yourself. Matter of fact, write a letter to that person. Burn it. And God is saying, watch your blessing come in. And the blessing is going to be because you're going to look at yourself with fresh new eyes. You're going to look at yourself and see how God and the universe has always had your back, even when you thought it didn't. If you do that, then God is saying this will be able to take you on to this journey of being the king of cups, king of coins. What God is saying is right here, you've done the work. This is the knight of coins, right? So that's what, 1 through 10 you have done. 11, this is where the page is 11, this is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Spiritual communication, spiritual change, moving forward, working with ascended masters. God said you've done the work. Now it'd be a shame if you wouldn't be able to get your blessing because you're holding on to all of this negative ass energy, because you're waiting for an apology. God said, forgive yourself. That's the blessing coming in. You'll start feeling differently so that you'll move differently and you'll attract differently. You'll become the king of coins, which is somebody who is grounded not only in their sexuality, they're grounded in the way that they think, they're grounded in the way that they're able to provide for themselves, they're grounded in their wealth and their prosperity. And that's where God is trying to get you. You look at all of those trials and tribulations that happen in your life and you see how it made you powerful, how it allowed you to get the tools to do what you do now. I look at my life because of everything that I've been through. I look at it and I'm like, damn, all those stories I got, all the movies. I can look at 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, all them problems. I had almost 99 problems. I had 99 million before I come out of this. That's what God is trying to get you to do. Angel number 1640. If you do that, because again, God is just saying you're going to create this different, you're going to have this different type of energy about yourself. This is the 9 of coins. Once you do this process of forgiving yourself, the blessing that is going to come in is that you're going to handle your business differently. You're going to carry yourself differently. And also spiritual communication is going to be able to come in. I feel like that's also what's blocking you, because you feel like, well, God, if you really were truly in my life, well, why would you have me go through that childhood? Why would you have me go through all of that? He's saying to make you as powerful as you are right now, to mold you up to be the person that you can be, so that you can have that business idea, so that you can have that new invention, so that you can change the way that your family accumulates wealth. You're going to, with what you are doing right now, if you take this time to truly heal this pain, to truly heal this truth, because that's what it is. This is from slavery. Angel number 1743. It all goes back to slavery. You have to think about this. The Willie Lynch theory. They broke down the family units between the males and the female, between the males and the female, right? So daddy wasn't in the house. Then they broke down the family units between the mama and the daughter. So there's a disconnect between the mama and the daughter, right? What does that do to the offspring? All of that comes in our blood. I'll give you a rundown from my own family history. My grandmother, she lost her parents at the age of 13 and 14. I think by 17, 18, she started having her first kids. At 13 and 14, what does my she was living with her grandparents, and then she started babysitting, and she's been raising kids all her life. What does a 13 or 14-year-old knows about being a mother if she ain't never really been mothered? 13 and 14 is her informative years, right? Of course she's going to raise a child. And I'm not saying of course, but because my grandmother wasn't conscious, of course she's going to create that same dynamic between her and her daughter, right? My grandmother was there, but she worked afternoons. My auntie raised them. So again, where did my mother learn to be mothered? She didn't, right? So how can I be mad at her because she couldn't give me something she never had? Angel number 1911. Same thing with your mates. How can you be mad at them for not giving you the love that you want when you don't even love yourself and you can't even give yourself that love? God is saying you go through the process of forgiving yourself, forgiving your parents. It'll change. It'll completely change the way that you move, the way that your future generations will go, and you'll have a brand new passion for life, a brand new passion and ability to bring about your dreams. That's what's holding you back. Once you can let go of this resentment, angel number 1950, and stop thinking that everything was happening to you and not for you, once you can get that chip off your shoulder, blessings can flow in. The river can overflow. Brand new passion. Here we have the King of Staff. So again, you're mastering it. We have the King of Staff, angel number 1020. Down here at the bottom is a beetle. That's about wealth, prosperity over a long period of time. What did I tell you back here? You're changing your complete family. After you do this, your entire lineage will never be the same again. We have to understand time, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's cyclical. And it's really about healing these cycles. So once you heal and you can forgive yourself, you change the entire trajectory of your life. Underlying this is the Queen of Coins. Look at that. God is saying your money. You wondering why. There we go. You wondering why. Look at this. Hard work. The bunny represents prosperity after hard work. Look at her. Look at these. Look at these two people. You got the king and the queen. Also, I feel like God is saying, forgive yourself. Your mate can come in. Forgive yourself. Your business partner can come in. Look at they're in the same fucking environment. Almost. Right? We can look at them and kind of see that they're in the same environment a little bit. So God is saying, you do your work. You do the work on the inside and then it change your outer world. Also, I was hearing something about, you do your work, your partner come in, the business partner come in, the love life will improve. You'll just change your complete prosperity of life. And also you'll release that need to have to fight every single thing. That's what it is. What God is saying, what's holding you up is because you think everything happened to you, it was against you, or like you're a bad person. And God is saying, no, if only you could see that all of this was happening so that I can mold you into the person who you were ultimately meant to be. Once you get that, once you truly understand that every single thing that happened to you led you up to become the person you are today, then you'll be off to the races. Then you can change, you'll carry yourself differently. Once you get to that point, and that's what I realized, once I really truly forgave my parents, I realized like, oh shit, the past is a cheat code. It's giving me all of this information. Angel number 2222. All right, God. Give us one tool that we can use, God, to finish up this message. What is a tool that we can use to allow ourselves to forgive our past, to let go of the things that hurt us? How can we start to tell ourselves a different story so that we can get, look at this. Oh my God, beetle. Beetle, two beetles. He got a beetle on here and a beetle on here, guys. We're talking about wealth. We're not talking about no get rich scheme. God is saying, you forgive yourself. You really, truly do that work. I keep hearing this, your entire family lineage is going to change. You're changing the trajectory of your life completely. All right, God, what happens if we allow ourselves to forgive our past and we begin to persevere in the direction of our dreams? What is this wealth? What is this newfound way of being? This new passion? What reward comes to us? What tools do you have for us to help us get to our happy ending? Make it as plain as possible. What tools do you have for my beautiful Cancer Collective? Just give us one, God. One card. I love it. The subject of money is really two subjects. And all of this, and that makes sense, all of this is dealing with coins. So this is changing. And that's what we have to understand. One is related to the other. If you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, you find yourself constantly worrying about how you're going to be provided for, how you're going to feed your family, you don't trust God, you don't trust the universe. It goes hand in hand. If you can forgive yourself and say, oh, you know what? I didn't always have, I didn't choose the right job because I didn't know myself. I didn't understand. I was just doing what I needed to do to survive. I wasn't able to, I didn't have the right money habits because I never seen it. But now I'm aware of it, so I can start moving in a direction to bring it about, right? We're changing. We just got to change our mindset and changing the way that we look at things. Angel number 2434. Okay. The subject of money is really two subjects. One, money, plenty of money, and two, absence, not nearly enough money. Often people assume that because they speak the words, I want more money, they are speaking positively about money. When you are feeling discomfort, when you are feeling fear or discomfort as you speak, you are not speaking of the subject of money. You are speaking of the subject of not having enough money. And the difference is very important, because the second subject brings money and the second holds it away. So what God is saying, again, connecting your emotions with your third eye. It's all connected. Your emotions, your sacral chakra, your third eye, connecting with the universe. It's all connected. God is saying, you're thinking, oh, I want my life to change. I want my life to change. But you're feeling like, ain't no way possible I can make my life change. Ain't no way possible I'm going to be able to be abundant. Ain't nobody ever did this. So guess what? You're going to keep pushing it away. But if you take on the attitude that, you know what, nobody in my family may have not done it, but that doesn't mean that I can't do it. That don't mean that I can't be the one to change the way that our whole family go. If you do that, then God is saying it comes. The blessing comes because you're changing your attitude. God is also saying tap into your feelings. If you're talking about something, or you're talking about a subject or something, and you feel bad or you feel guilty about it, look into that. Examine why is that happening, and then start just telling yourself a story of what makes you do feel good. Last final message. We are each responsible for the thoughts we think. So God is doubling down on telling you that it all starts in here. You have to be responsible for the thoughts that you are thinking. You have to be responsible for the way that you are carrying yourself. If you think in the world is going to be against you, the world is going to be against you. Start forgiving and healing yourself. Everything is responsible. But read this all. When you are in alignment with who you really are, you cannot help but uplift those who you come in contact with. Your value to those around you hinges upon only one thing, your personal alignment with Source. And the only thing you have to give to another is an example of that alignment, which others may observe, then desire, and then work to achieve, but you cannot give it to them. Also, I love that all of these cards are king, queen, queens, and kings. Like, it's king, queens, and kings. So what God is saying is, again, you have to stop worrying about other people in your family, your brothers, your sister, even your partner. If they don't get it, they just don't get it. You have to come on the inside and say that this is the life for you. Everyone is responsible for the thoughts they think, the things they choose as their objects of attention. Okay. Last message. I can give my attention to the positive aspects. So Cancer, God is on your ass about your negative thinking. I think that's your block. Your block is your inability to forgive yourself and your nasty ass thinking. You gotta change the way that you think. You can't think positive, think negative, and expect positive. God is saying you forgive yourself. You forgive what happened in the past. You know that what you want is yours, and it'll all come and it'll flow to you. God, what happens for my beautiful Cancer collective if they take on the attitude that they can have anything that they desire? What if they forgive themselves, start to focus on those positive aspects, really take responsibility for the thoughts they think? What is this blessing that you give to them, God? How do they get to this state of the King of Coins and the King of Staves? How can they harness this energy of the Queen of Coins? God, make it as plain as possible. One card, please. What comes for my beautiful Cancers if they take this message to heart and really forgive themselves and change their thought process? Intuition. So God is saying you go through this process of forgiving yourself, go through this process of becoming one with your emotion. That's how you strengthen your intuition. That's how you'll know what money moves to make. That's how you will know when you need to hold them and when you need to fold them. That's how you will know how you need to handle your partnerships and how to rule your life. It's because you become one with your intuition. What did I tell you guys before? This forgiveness is about your third eye. So God is saying what's stopping you from becoming truly one with your intuition and trusting yourself is your inability to forgive yourself and your inability to become one with your emotions. The final message is the opportunity. So God is saying you go through this process of forgiving yourself, becoming one with your emotions, coming in sync with your intuition, taking responsibility of your thoughts. if you persevere and begin to move in the direction of your dreams, a beautiful opportunity will come in and you will be able to dress to impress. So will you? All right, Cancer, that is all the messages I have for you. If if it was beneficial for you in any way, please give me your key takeaways down below. If not, at least give me a thumbs up. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Namaste. Angel number 2450. Bye.